This is the second part of instantiating the VIP in an NFX250. Now let me show you from scratch how to configure it on Salsa. Here we have the three components of Salsa required for the controller. I'm going to enter into the system. This is my IP address related with the terminal I showed you in the other video as well. So with my credentials of administrator. And here we have nothing because it is a new server. So I'm going to import my licensing, the ISUs. This is a license that includes all the services, all the functionality of Ipanema. And here we see that there is a POC reference and the date of expiration. We have 50K ISUs, control compression, dynamic one selection, and application acceleration included. So second thing to do is activating the domain server, same IP address that we are using for this Salsa server. So 192.168.118. So this is in red right now. It will change to green after stabilizing. Now we need to create a domain, in this case defined by a name, AT&T NFV, for example, because we are showing the NFV instantiation of the VIP on this setup. So we have the domain server, the allocated ISUs 5000 in this case, and the time zone. Why not New York? New York, right here, and that's an import. We are going to use the one port. So the InfoVista server runtime, same IP address, and the description. Yes, username, administrator, no password. I'm gonna leave it without password. And below we have the defaults figures here for all application groups possible, some reporting in 5 and the other elements by default. So gonna to update it, and yeah, the domain servers now is in red. Domains will change as well. Here we have the users, the administrator group, and the reporting portal. We are in a standalone configuration, so the same server, and the InfoVista server runtime as well, same server. It's changing my domain, yellow. It's changing, and right now it's green. So ready to access the domain. So here AT&T NFV, and very good. Let us start to configure this domain. So the services, we will include visibility control, compression, acceleration, and tele engines. Okay, we apply, we update it. And now we need to configure the appliances. So we have two appliances. First one is going to be the DC side, which the appliance is a 4AX. It's a small setup, just 2 places. This is a lab, a test bed, simple test bed. And here we have this IP address determination 1.201. So the same address for private as a public, and we need to activate the services control, compression, acceleration, and the definition of when access for the CPE mode. CPE mode means that we are going to use the MAC addresses of the routers on the one, and let me use 10 megs for MPLS. This is very important to define MPLS or internet to select the correct policy of priority to send in flows. CPE with determination when that 254, second link, an internet link, 20 megs, and the CPE same prefix, and termination one that 253, right? So just verifying that all is here, okay, and we applied. Second appliance is the NFX250 from Juniper. So we are going to call it like a BR branch NFX250, and similar name for the appliance, but let us add beep of virtual IP engine. So we have the IP address with termination 3.50 for both public and private IP addresses. We need the services, so control, compression, acceleration, and the CPE mode, 10 megs for MPLS, 20 megs for internet. The CPE with termination 3.254 and second link 3.253. Okay, everything is fine. So we update it on the salsa system. Good. And we will change the speed of the links to make them completely symmetric, just to simplify the testing and the metrology, the internal metrology. It's easier to have ingress and egress links with the same bandwidth or capacity to show the difference when you send one or other flow in separated links. So here I'm going to use 17400 for all the links again. symmetric, completely symmetric. This information will be updated also on the appliances information that we just configure. Let's see, yeah, that is what appliances are reachable now. See in green. And we need also to configure time synchronization, which is very important for the correlation of metrics between the different sites. These metrics use timestamps, so we use the NFX250 as primary clock and the 40AX as a secondary clock. Very good. We apply. And now something which is extremely important is the definition of topology subnets. Are the references for also visibility and metrology, source and destinations, and it's just required the subnet. So termination 1.0. So it is for net prefix, and the name is going to be DC, and the prefix length 24. So associated to the site DC. Second subnet as the branch subnet with termination 3.0 prefix and a name similar like the site BR NFX250 prefix line 24 and the appliance related to NFX250 virtualized appliance. Okay, we apply it. You can see globally straightforward configuration. Now I need to define a personalized or customized application, two applications that will be used for test UDP using two different ports. UDP is a good option for seeing perfectly what is happening in one way of stream flows. Here UDP 5001 and port 5001. Okay, first application which is customized. Second UDP 5002, same port 5002 UDP. You see, simple to activate new applications or customize new applications. We update it and ready to use on an application group. Yes, one thing is important is to put it in the correct order. First, the most specific applications, and on the bottom we have the general protocol or application. Now the QS profiles. For the UDP application, we use, in this case, business QS. So with objective of bandwidth of 1 meg and just a maximum of 1100. Application groups. The application groups are the elements that consolidate all the information and the protocols internally, criticality, and the QoS. I'm going to remove the application groups that are not useful today. So thin client is removed as well. Let us see this. No, I don't think so. No, it's not needed today. And so the business application and intranet neither, not today. And remove also mail collaborative. And I need to create a ping just to show that also a ping can be an application group. And net services, net services is the correct QoS profile, high business criticality, and just looking for the protocol ICMP, the ping protocol, and the second internet link, yes, as a secondary link, roam path and decision levels. Network services. Yeah, we need to remove from network services because it is by default the ISMP to avoid duplication in both application groups and see only in the correct application group. Yeah, that's fine. And now the creation of the two application groups for UDP 5001, QoS profile business, and the protocols UDP and UDP 5001, which were defined on the application space. Second application, so UDP 5002, we use business criticality top again. And compress this. This one will be compressed business again as a QoS profile. So UDP and UDP 5002 as protocols, and the dynamic one selection policies, return part decision level, and the internet as a secondary link. Yeah, I forgot to do the same thing for 5001. So return path, decision level, and internet as a secondary link. All that for showing that all the flows will use dynamically all the available links. We update it, and you can see that almost all the elements are in green. Let us ping or remote site the branch site. I'm sorry, it is termination 3. Here we have. Let us use Hyper for creating the flows. I have Hyper here in my users and administrator path. I download previously the software of Hyper 2 here, and let us apply here the server, the hyperv server. So minus S minus U for UDP. So the port by default is 5001, and same thing for a server of 5002, but now, so we need to define the 5002 port. So with minus P. Here you go, 5002. Very good. It's ready for receiving traffic from the branch office, meaning the Juniper box on the other side. So right now nothing is traversing, just the ping, but very low traffic. And let us see what is happening in the dashboard after configuring these initial parameters. So let us see the sites. Very good. We have the branch NFX250 and the DC with the net services traffic, not the ping, because as if you remember, the net services at the beginning had the ping. So here 0 kilobits per second, almost nothing. I know I didn't have a ping, so nothing on reality. Let us now start to send also some hyperv flows. Let us send 15 sessions with a socket buffer of 100k bytes and 1 megabit per second per session. So on the command line, and enter. So here we have the 5001 port, 100k on socket, and the almost 15 or more than a little more than 15 megs related with the 15 different sessions that I am sending on to the branch site, the virtualized site. So let me go to the other site and send, doing the same. So sending some, here you go. We are sending from the other site 15 megs as well, 15 sessions. And you see ping now, it is showing traffic. And so here we have the 15 sessions activated. Right now I'm sending 8 megabits more on from the branch, 8 more sessions on the 5002. So 8 plus 15 is 23. Very good. It's working from the other side, and I guess it is using both links, internet and MPLS, because you cannot send 23 megabytes in a link of MPLS of 8.8 megs. You need both links, the total bandwidth of both links for sending these flows. So here you have that both links are being used. Very good. So it is stabilizing. The Salsa platform requires some minutes to consolidate all the information and to be completely accurate. It's normal because there are many flows that change and on the fly. And so right now let us use an FTP classic server which is on the branch. You see the IP address of the branch, and let us download a file. Let me see here. Now let us download this one. It's about 100 megabytes. So we can download here, and you can see that it is a lot of time, 14 hours remaining. Let me see. Oh yeah, it is because as you remember, we are saturating the both links with two flows coming from the branch as well. So the two links are completely saturated. This is the reason that the FTP, which has less criticality, is not being transferred correctly, or it is delayed. So we can. So in this way, we are confirming that the QS is working. So here we have the top criticality, which is working correctly. So let us configure let me see the FTP. Yeah, the FTP also give more bandwidth to the FTP flows, and also use compression to show compression in our testbed. So before and after we have the compression active. So let us see. Let us also stop the traffic coming from the branch. Good, I'm stopping it, and we will have all the bandwidth for the FTP flow. Let us download it again, and we should see a difference. So just much better. 12 minutes. We have just about 2 to 1 megabit per second. I think I forgot to change the bandwidth on the quality of service profile. Let us see. What is it? Let me see. I think it is file transfer. Let us confirm that it's file transfer, the quality of service related on the back office. Yes, file transfer. It's back office file transfer, and let us increase the bandwidth. This delay, it's fine, but the session bandwidth is very low. You see here for the object just 50K. So let us use 1 meg and 10 megs here. For the max. So eventually we can use 10 megs for this FTP flow when other flows with no criticality are present, not too high criticality are present. So here, yes, we have the back office file transfer, and also let us verify dynamic one selection. So return path, session level, and the internet link as a secondary link. Very good. And if it works correctly, we will see an increase in the bandwidth. Oh, very good. So yes, we are starting to use the whole bandwidth of the link, which is 8.8, and we will see that it will accelerate. Well, it is not because the one optimization. It's just because we increased the bandwidth from QS. So you can see here that QS is extremely important to define user experience as well. So it's not only one optimization, but above all, quality of service. Here we increased the quality of service objective bandwidth, the max, and we increase enormously the speed of transfer. Here you have that everything is working. Yeah, we have the back office. The back office you see, which is present, and yeah, it is finishing. So almost 100 megs, 95.7 megs. Let us try again. There is a kind of cache because we activated compression after we start to download the file. So maybe we will have an enhancement, but not the total enhancement. But yes, you see, including the increase in bandwidth of the QoS profile and including the compression, maybe in the latest part of the transfer, we are seeing an enhancement and user experience. So the file is downloading with a much better speed. So again, it's 95.7 megabits per second. We are talking about a private network, simulated private network with an MPLS link of 8.8 megabits per second. So it's working. Sorry, because this kind of changes in the colors of the screen. So let us see. Right now it's working, almost finishing, and that's it. So yeah, it took about 1 minute and a half to download the file. And if we try again with the whole caching, because this second pass has this whole caching, let us see what happened. Oh, again. So so some seconds, 3 to 4 seconds, I think. So completely different. You see the user experience have changed absolutely. So on one hand, QoS, and secondly, one optimization. Very impressive, I think. And let us see the throughput evolution. Maybe we will see a difference between the local area network bandwidth and the WAN bandwidth. So normally we have a kind of virtual bandwidth created. It's the blue, yellow is WAN. So yes, you have a small peak of bandwidth. It doesn't represent the latest transfer. We need to wait a little for seeing the peak of the bandwidth. I think we are going to see it after on the throughput evolution graph. We will back to this. Good. I think it's working very well. Well, we could try with another file to confirm that it is working well. So here we have 200 megs, twice of the size of the file, right? 200 megabytes transferring with QoS activated in the MPLS 8.8 megabit per second link. So it seems good. If we see, you see here maybe some flows or some part of the flows are being sharing on the second link, or some part of the flows are being accelerated in terms of TCP, because we are seeing a little more bandwidth than the 8.8 MPLS. So, and yeah, we see that the speed is good. It seems good for 200 megabytes. And yes, here we have the that we start to see the peak, a peak of acceleration, a difference between the WAN and LAN throughput, which is a condition of the WAN optimization bandwidth. So here let us differentiate applications from the MPLS and internet. Let us see UDP 5001 and 5002, and yes, back office, which is the FTP traffic. And here you have the distribution in both links, so very useful. So yeah, you can see that the red graph, which is the UDP 5002, is using most of the link. Let us see if it has finished, almost finished. So yeah, I think it's about 2 minutes of transfer. Just this first pass is we are using QoS and some TCP acceleration. Second pass will include compression, so the duplication of files. If it is working correctly, we will see extremely important difference in speed. So yeah, from 2 minutes to maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 or so, 8, maybe 10 seconds. From 2 minutes to 10 seconds for 200 megabytes of file. So here, yeah, we have the peak of local area network traffic, which is extremely different against the wide area network. So, and here you can see almost 200 megs on the local area network, on the LAN of the PC. So very impressive because we have only 8.8 megs on the MPLS, and you can attain almost 200 megs on the local area network. So this is why the speed on is much higher of transfer of the files, and so the time of transfer is very, very low. You can see all that here, and our AQS for the 3 applications are behaving correctly. So UDP 5001, back office, and ping are in green, almost in 10. So respecting the SLAs of applications. Again, so the peak and of bandwidth, and here we have the distribution of the criticalities. Now let us look at the different flows and with the traffic metrics and the distribution of flows using the core flow map. Here we have only two sites, so DC1 and the branch NFX250, but everything is in green, so it is in real time. So some of our flows, for instance the FTP has died, it's already transferred, and yeah, you can see here again that all the links are being used. Like offices has been sent on over the internet link. Yeah, very good. This is why we saw some of the flows some part of the flows were sent from internet. We saw a change of bandwidth before the compression. Yeah, we see here the peak of local area network, so 25 megabits per second is an average, and yes, it is just showing the results of one optimization. Let us verify again the distribution of applications and the throughput evolution. Yeah, here we can see clearly the peak of bandwidth. And so now some site reports per hour. So here the reports can be from 1 day, 1 month, or 1 year, and the distribution of applications. So again, application synthesis. Here we can see some traffic metrics like the LAN and WAN throughput, the quality evolution. Well, we require more time for consolidating, so more than 1 hour to consolidate all the metrics. But yeah, you have all the same reports available for long-term analysis. Again, MPLS and internet distribution of traffic with the availability or end-to-end connectivity in green.